Whannel, and of course, you guys already know that. Okay, I'm not dead. As you can tell, I know it's been nearly a month since I've uploaded an actual video. It's been way over a month since I uploaded a review. But school just started back for me, so I'm going to be a lot busier now. But I think I have time to put a franchise in here, franchise review, and as you can already tell by the intro, we are finally reviewing the Saw franchise, starting with the original Saw from 2004. Yes, I know, this is a revisited review of the original Saw just because I feel like I had to. So Saw from 2004 tells the story of these two men who wake up chained to a bathroom with a dead corpse in the middle, and they have to figure out how to escape. Like, quite a bit of the movie is set in one location, although there's a lot of flashback within a flashback crap. And it's revealed that the person who is doing this to them is the Jigsaw Killer. And he's basically a killer because he apparently says, "Oh, I didn't murder those people. Oh, yeah, no, duh, you're a murderer." But he tries to figure out ways for people to kill themselves. But he places people in these pretty gnarly and horrific traps and times them to get out. But they have 6 o'clock, until 6 o'clock to get out. If they do not, Dr. Gordon, one of them, played by Carrie Elwes, his wife and daughter will die because somebody has them held captive. Who? You'll find out soon. Let's get on with the review. Okay, I think I'm actually pretty glad to be back on YouTube. And yeah, I figured I needed to revisit this movie because, I don't know, this is a beloved classic for a lot of people. It's a beloved classic, and like, so many people love this movie, even though it's got a 49% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I digress. But a lot of people still love this movie. This movie is 15 years old, and people still love it. Like, this movie's like a decade and a half years old. That's pretty crazy. But pretty much, people still love this movie. People say it's one of the most underrated movies ever. Some people do say it's a bit overrated nowadays, but again, I digress. My thoughts, shall I say, this movie's in my top 20 favorite films? Yes, this movie is great. This isn't phenomenal, but it's still great. I rewatched this movie by the time you get this video 2 days ago, but the time I'm filming this, last night. But I actually did love this movie again. Now, sure, I do have some flaws with the movie, despite the fact I love it, and not everything about it holds up 15 years later, which it kind of sucks, but hey, that's alright. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the flaws of this movie first, and then get on with the positives. I normally kind of do that with revisited reviews, unless I'm reviewing a movie that doesn't have that many flaws. So we're going to go ahead and start with the flaws of the original Saw first, then we'll move on with the positives. My first and biggest negative with this movie is the flashback within a flashback crap. I don't know, sometimes it makes the movie a bit convoluted, and I don't know, it gets worse as the movies go on, trust me. Like, as of now, I've only seen a few of these movies. Like, I haven't seen quite a bit of them, but I've definitely seen the first 3. But yes, the flashback within a flashback bullcrap makes absolutely no sense. Seriously, it makes no sense. Like, sometimes it doesn't make sense, but like, when I did rewatch it, it did make a lot more sense because I had already watched the movie several times before then, but pretty much that, like, I don't know. The flashback within flashback stuff is a bit convoluted, and it just makes the film a little messy storytelling-wise, but it's not the biggest distraction in the world, so half positive, half negative. But it's still the biggest negative in the movie. Negative number 2, the jump cuts. The many jump cuts in this movie. It gets worse with the sequels, trust me, but the jump cut stuff, no. If you have epilepsy, you should not watch these movies because they will give you seizures. But Jigsaw, the latest installment, does not have the jump cuts. It's just a filmed movie with no jump cuts. It's the first 7 movies that had the many jump cuts. and it gets annoying as the films go on. So yeah, but it's not that big of an issue here, which is great. Negative number 3, the acting by Leigh Whannel and Cary Elwes is really bad. I laughed at some of the acting in this movie. Like, sometimes it can be pretty good, but sometimes it isn't. And yeah, take a look at this scene. I know that was intentionally supposed to be bad, but still, it's really bad and made me burst out laughing when I rewatched the movie. Their acting is bad. Now, the other people in the movie, the other actors, they actually give good performances, like Danny Glover, Tobin Bell, and other people. You kind of noticed how I hesitantly said Tobin Bell. We'll get to that later because I will be revealing some spoilers later on. But you're safe for now. But yes, the acting by Cary Elwes and Leigh Whannel is really bad. Hey, at least Leigh Whannel can write and apparently direct because he directed the 4th Insidious movie. Who would have thought? And my 4th and final negative, this isn't really a problem with this movie. It's a flaw I've got with the sequels that's kind of weighs down on this movie. The whole torture porn crap. This movie to me is not a torture porn movie, but I'm blaming the sequels because a lot of people say this movie, this first film, is a torture porn movie. I'll get to why this is not a torture porn movie later on in this video, but for now, for me, it's not that type of film. I'll get to that later. But that's it with the negatives. Let's move on to the positives of Saw. Positive number 1, I love the way this film is made. Like, this movie was made for like $1 million, and yeah, like, it was made for $1 million, and yet they still somehow managed to make this amazing movie. Now, I'm going to throw in a slight mixed element in here right now. I do wish this entire movie was in one location, but probably people would have found that boring. But come on, it would have been fun if this was in one location. But I digress. The way this film is made is pretty well done. James Wan did a really good job with that. And like, this was like his theatrical debut. I know Saw 0.5 had come out at the time, but still, like, it's amazing how he managed to make this movie with all these actors and stuff. Yeah, like Leigh Whannel, who wrote the movie and plays Adam in the movie pretty badly, but hey, I digress. They were best friends. They're still best friends. And like, it's amazing how they managed to pull this movie off. And I have to give major props to these two men because they did an amazing job. That's all I can say. Positive number 2, the mystery of this movie. The mystery of this movie. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in the genre I believe this movie is. This is not a torture porn movie. This movie is a psychological thriller with mystery as the subgenre. This is a mystery slash whodunit. And it's a psychological horror movie. This is not a torture porn. Yes, some of the gore in this movie is like a sleazy slasher movie, but I felt like the gore kind of had to be in there for the purpose of the trap scenes. And I'll get to that later, but yes, the mystery of the movie is flawless, and it helps with the ending that we'll get onto later. I'm not revealing it right now. You're safe for now if you have not seen Saw, but pretty much, that's pretty much how it goes. So the mystery helps build up to the final act, and the mystery is so well done. It's remarkable. Positive number 3. I gotta go ahead and give a shout out to my favorite trap, pretty much in the entire series, but it's also my favorite trap of the film. You guys know it. The reverse bear trap. It's so great, and the scene is really intense. Like, it's intense as heck. Now, the character of Amanda, she shows up later on in the series, and she's not really a good person by that point, but here, I was rooting for Amanda. I'm not lying, but depending on how her character grows later on, kind of regret rooting for her now. But still, the scene is intense. It has the right amount of gore, doesn't have way too much. It's disgusting, but not too disgusting. Not like some of the sequels, but yeah, that's pretty much all I'm gonna say. It's really good. Like, the reverse bear trap is like it'd probably be the scariest situation you'd ever be put in. Imagine yourself being strapped to a chair with a reverse bear trap on your head and has a 60-second timer on it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I think 60 seconds is a little too unfair. She should have had at least 2 minutes, because by the time she walked over to that corpse, she probably would have had 10 seconds left, not 30. So I'm pretty much just saying that. So, but other than that, the scene is intense. I love the trap, and it's really cool. Puzzle number 4. I gotta give kudos to Charlie Clouser. He delivered an amazing score in this movie, especially the Saw theme, Hello Zepp. That is one of the most iconic horror songs ever put to film. It's one of the most iconic songs in horror history. Everybody knows the Saw theme. Seriously, everybody knows it. And Charlie Clouser was apparently a former 9 Inch Nails member. Apparently, he was a part of a band. But, like, seriously, like, his score is great. And he did the score for all of the movies, not just his first film. And his score for all the movies is pretty phenomenal. In my opinion, the only phenomenal thing about this movie, besides the ending, but we'll get to that later, but the freaking score is amazing. I listen to it on probably a monthly basis. Every now and then, I have to listen to that score, especially now that I'm reviewing these movies. I'm probably going to be listening to that theme song for, like, weeks. Can you guys tell? I'm pretty sure you can. But the score is really good. Pasta number 5. Spoiler warning, because I'm gonna give away the ending to this movie. If you have not seen Saw, get out of here, because I don't want you to be ruined. If you don't know a single thing about this movie, you need to leave, because I'm going to reveal the final act of this movie, because the final act has many twists and turns, and it's amazing. I need you to leave, because I want you to go into this movie fresh, because I want you to be surprised by these twists. I really do want you to, because I was not robbed of the experience of seeing the ending. I was not. I thought I was, but then I remembered I wasn't. So, thank God. But I don't want you to be robbed of the experience of the twist ending of this movie. So get out of here. Skip to my ranking, or just leave the video entirely. So yeah, just go watch Saw, then come back to this video. I want you guys to be surprised by the twist if you have not seen Saw. So 3, 2, 1, you've been warned. If you are still sticking around and you haven't seen Saw, I'm warning you. I'm just warning you. So basically, I'm going to talk about the final act of the movie, not just the ending, but the final act as well. But basically, Dr. Gordon's wife and daughter managed to get away from the person who's keeping them, which is Zepp, who is a orderly it's the hospital. It's the hospital where Dr. Gordon works at, and he's been keeping them captive this whole time. So at first, you think this guy is Jigsaw, but he sounds nothing like Jigsaw. But still, But then again, he could have used a voice changer like Ghostface. But you think this man is Jigsaw. So he actually goes after Dr. Gordon because his wife and daughter are gone. They managed to get away. So yeah, and Danny Glover, Detective Tapp, chases him down. He gets killed, unfortunately, which is very sad. Then Dr. Gordon saws his foot off, which is disgusting, but at least they do not show too much of it, which is great. And pretty much he shoots at him and kills him, but he actually doesn't. Zepp comes in, about to kill Dr. Gordon. Adam grabs him, takes a toilet tank lid and just smashes his face in, which is really violent, but I was rooting for Adam. And Dr. Gordon tries to go get help. I do not know why you would try to get help. You have one foot that is missing, and you would probably bleed to death before you even got out of the freaking sewer you're in. So then Adam tries to find a way to escape because Dr. Gordon left him behind. And then he pulls out an audio cassette and he plays it. And Zepp has been a pawn of Jigsaw this whole time. He's not Jigsaw.
Hello, Mr. Hindle. Or as they called you around the hospital. Zepp. I want you to make a choice. There's a slow-acting poison coursing through your system, which only I have the antidote for. Will you murder a mother and her child to save yourself? Listen carefully, if you will. There are rules. What's the rules?
When I saw that when I saw that for the very first time, my mind was blown. I was just like, what? Seriously? He is a Jigsaw? Basically, he had been poisoned by Jigsaw and had been forced to kill Dr. Gordon and his wife. That's why when you watch it back and you see the hesitance on Zepp's face before he tries to kill them, then it's all in focus now. Because you see the hesitance. He does not want to kill them, but Jigsaw's forcing them to so he can live. He's forcing him to, which I found pretty sad. And then, the biggest surprise of the movie, the corpse that has been in the bathroom this whole time sits up. It's John Kramer, a person we saw earlier on in the movie in the hospital where Dr. Gordon was. He had a brain tumor and he was being examined. He is Jigsaw. He was the one that put Dr. Gordon and Adam in the bathroom. He slams the door, game over, leaving Adam trapped in the bathroom because the key to the freaking chains went down the drain, which freaking sucks. He leaves and says, game over, slams the door shut. In an ending that sends chills down my spine every time I watch it. Mind-blowing twist. That is one of the greatest endings in movie history. Overall, guys, Saw is a fantastic horror movie. It's one of my favorite movies of the past 20 years. It is so freaking great. Like, I'm serious. It is great. Seriously. I love this movie to death. But not everything about it holds up 15 years later, so I'm not giving it a cinematic perfection. I'm going to give it a modern marvel. Why not? I'm going to give it the highest grade below that because you guys need to see this movie. It's one of the best horror movies ever made. I love it. This is in my top 10 favorite horror movies. Sure, when I rewatched it, it didn't age very well for some parts, but it's still a great movie that you guys should definitely check out if you have not seen this movie. So what do you guys think of Saw? Let me know in the comments below. Do you love this movie, which I'm sure you do? Or do you dislike this movie? Because I've never heard of anybody that hates the movie. So do you dislike it? I'm fine if you do, but maybe you could grow on it at least. So I am so happy to be back on YouTube, guys. I think you guys are happy that I'm back. So yeah, we're finally reviewing the Saw franchise. Yay! We're finally reviewing the Saw series. In a few days, you'll be getting my review of Saw 2. I cannot wait to get to Saw 2 because it was one of the more enjoyable installments of the series, but we'll see how it holds up. I have not seen it in a long time. So, be looking forward to my review of Saw 2 coming out. So, yeah. Once again, I'm Madeline. This is Alan's Horror World. Of course, you guys already know that I love all you guys to death. And until next time...
Most people are so ungrateful to be alive. But not you. Not anymore. Game over.